we recorded at Capitol Records in Hollywood, which of course was a place where she made many of her great recordings, and her DNA is literally probably all over everything, you know. And Larry Goldings played Nat King Cole's piano, you know, on the score. And we scored it in Studio B, which was the famous studio there with just fabulous musicians that he put together, people that I work with, but also his collaborators. I think we should swing the opening. Right. And guys, let's repeat that opening. I wonder if it should just start with bass. And we might even be able to do that 3 times. Like that opening, let's do one take where it just starts with bass, and then piano bass, and then piano bass drums. So we'll repeat 1 through 4 3 times, okay? And then we go back with everybody, okay?
Yeah, so we only play this once. Right?
You only play it once.
So we'll play it up.
You play it up, let's see what happens. Yeah. And then I think what we should do is when we do the head, maybe we'll just do it one person. Let's do it on trumpet. Okay. Do it. You know, take liberties.
Do you want it in Harmon muted trumpet?
Yeah.
I think the
Let's
Miles
do it.
track.
Yeah.
He plays the melody, and then I think it opens up on the solo.
Yeah.
If you want.
Good. So let's do that. Let's do that. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay, it's confusing, but we'll get it. All right, superb. I went to a boarding school outside of Boston, and I was really like a good kid. I never did anything bad, but I did get a fake ID so I could take the bus into Boston every weekend and go hear the greatest jazz musicians. That's what I would do every weekend. So I really grew up, I played and sang myself, but I also grew up as an avid listener and fan and a student of jazz. The love theme kind of happens in 2 parts. First is what we call the intro, which is bossa nova. It's almost like film noir. And then it's sad and sexy and sweet, I think, all at the same time. And so again, the DNA of their relationship is really kind of embedded in the music. Their story it's almost always sad, really. I mean, there are moments where, you know, where you see them and they're having the family and you feel like there's maybe some sunshine that might come in, but the dark always overwhelms it. A lot of documentary filmmakers either have all score or no score, and there are securities and insecurities that are based on all of those things. If you have wall-to-wall music, then you stop hearing the music. It can be useful because it covers up, you know, a camera move here or a piece of bad dialogue there, but you don't get what you need dramatically. And if you have no music, then you're missing out on one of the great tools of filmmaking, which is music to provide a subtext. What's the character thinking? What's the character feeling? Whose perspective do we want to play this from? An audience understands a sense of security when they're watching a film and understanding what's going on and where they're at. And although that seems like it should be obvious, it isn't. And it's the same in narrative as it is in documentary. Nice. Mm-hmm. Woo. Awesome. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. Let's do one more little thing and then we'll take another break. Guys, when we do this, I mean, let's try it through with just Larry at the beginning, but we may wind up doing
Phil's.
Yeah, Phil's reactions. I think this should be, or should we do it straight? It's kind of, it's not quite Latin. Okay. Should we try it and see what happens? I put my cape on. We're gonna do a really straight up Latin version of it at some point, I think. But here it's kind of sitting in the middle of that world, but not quite there. Okay? Good.
All right.
Good.
So Laura, Larry's just playing, and then Dave and I are coming in at 21.
No, you play. I
We're
think
in
you
the
can
front.
play. Yeah.
Oh, we're in the front.
Yeah, you're in the front.
Okay.
Let's make that clear.
Okay.
Latin-ish. We'll do a straight up Latin thing, but more kind of Hollywood high 50s romance. And when we go to the ending, let's do the little fills with the 3 instruments, okay? Let's try it and see what happens. Is everybody clear? Yep. Beautiful. Let's try it. For me, being a native Angelino, that's kind of the beat of the city in a way. This place where there's like incredible hope. So it's kind of like you could see somebody in the Caribbean, but the truth is that's the vibe of LA, this like sultry, sunny vibe as opposed to New York. And then the middle part of it breaks into really straight ahead, optimistic jazz. You have an underscore for a film. And so you know that it's gonna be 1 minute and 10 seconds, and you've got to start here and finish there, and it's got to float in, and so that it presents itself, but enters and exits fairly unnoticed. And yet, you got to improvise jazz. So that's super hard to do in kind of a scoring perspective. So we actually made a complicated roadmap where I wrote 4 basic tunes, and then we recorded them at 3 different tempos, and we knew going in that it would work because we had kind of tried it out against picture, but there was a certain amount of risk involved, but we were willing to take that risk because the score had to feel real. And it had to feel as if these were pieces that were from the time, but were also vibrant and something a part of the audience's experience in watching the film and feeling like Judy was alive there with them. Absolutely superb. I think it actually works great in major. I mean, I thought I'll do a minor version and a major version. And then once I did the major thing, I thought, you know what, this is perfect. It's better. Yeah. Especially for the scene, because even though it's complicated, this is all around her doing A Star Is Born and a little bit a couple other places too, but it's like it's a happy time. Yeah. It's a time of hope and promise. Right. So after the solos, we're going to play the head again, and then we're going to go 240, 43. Right. He'll have a 2-bar drum break. Right. Then we'll have ostensibly another 2 bars, more or less, of effing around, and then jump. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Do that.
We'll try.
Okay.
Okay.
So 4 bars total plus the bump.
Yep.
Cool.
Good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it. The showbiz theme is Hollywood manufactured for people not living here. It's less personal. It's more the movies. It's more Louis B. Mayer's exported Hollywood. Anybody who works in Hollywood, around Hollywood, we're all gamblers, and we love the rush of getting a gig, the rush of making music, the rush of going to a screening, the waiting for the phone to ring when you're not working. I mean, that's a part of what our lives are, and that was theirs too, and that's a connection. And we're all artists trying to make a living in a commercial business that is art, commerce, art, commerce, art, commerce, and it's amazing.